Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody's good. We're diving back into the lab today. And I told y'all this running back class was loaded with potential talent. And we got another good one today. Chase Brown from Illinois, now Cincinnati Bengal product. What is he gonna be in the NFL? There is a great opportunity for this man, and he does possess a good level of skill sets that I do like about his game. He is definitely one to look at and investigate on. So what do you say we discuss Chase Brown, now Cincinnati Bengal running back? So when you break down the film of a guy like a Chase Brown, you do get excited with the possibilities of what he could potentially be. Is it going to be, unquestionable standard? No, he still has some growing pains he's gonna have to get through, but the opportunity here with the Cincinnati Bengals, the team that drafted him, there is great opportunity for him. The Bengals picked him round 5, pick number 28, and it's roughly where I had him, 5th, 6th round evaluation. I thought, it was very good. He fell to where he's supposed to go, and I understand, this is a great aspect where, the Cincinnati Bengals discussing Joe Mixon's future with the club. While we talk fantasy football numbers, Joe did have a good season overall, but when you take away that 5-touchdown performance he did have, he would have fell down those boards and the ranks that much more. So there is opportunity. The fact that they don't necessarily want to pay Joe Mixon anymore, rumors had it that, he was potentially a cap casualty or a trade candidate this offseason. This is why they're hedge betting. Now you go get yourself a Chase Brown. You got Joe Mixon. You got Williams. Chris Evans on the roster, and 2 others that are vying for a possibility roster spot as they go into training camp as we get closer this week to opening most training camps, as a lot of players are checking in right now. But we're talking, what is Chase Brown's opportunity here? Where Chris Evans, I'm a big supporter, always have been. I think he's a fabulous, PPR upside running back potentially with third down change of pace opportunity. And Chris Evans is one of these guys, former wide receiver convert into a running back, but now what do? Is Chase Brown going to see the field a lot in year 1? Very much debatable. They do like Williams a lot also, but Joe Mixon is your standard. The Cincinnati Bengals are still going to be challenging for the Super Bowl, so you got to have all hands on deck. But if Chase Brown does show out here in training camp and the preseason to give the head coaching staff suggesting that he cannot be taken off the field, we could see a lot more carries for a Chase Brown. I do like his game. I do like the potential, and then years after that, especially in Dynasty leagues, Chase Brown is a great taxi squad stash because he could legit earn his way to be a starting running back in this league. But as for this man's measurables, he stands 5'9", 209, very good frame, 23 years of age, played in 45 contests with Illinois, 676 attempts for 3,558 yards, a nice 5.3 on the average, 18 rushing touchdowns. And where the passing game, we're going to touch that in the pros and cons, but he did improve his stat line, 58 receptions, 521 receiving yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. So he was not a liability in the pass game. I don't think he's a liability in the pass game, but there are improvements that can be had, no question. But as for those pros, Chase Brown's got a lot of them, and I did like his game as I studied more and more. Even, going back to last season in college football, I watched a lot of games with Illinois because they were explosive. They ran this man into the ground. We'll start there, man. High volume in 2022, 328 attempts for 1,643 in yards. Still got over that 5-point threshold in the rushing average and 10 rushing touchdowns. You can see, man, they leaned upon a Chase Brown in this past season, and we'll talk about his stout frame. I know a lot of scouts are suggesting, the undersized nature of his frame. He carries the 209 extremely well at 5'9", very much put together. He is not a pushover by any stretch. I do like the frame. I am supportive of it. He's muscular, he's cut up, and he's got good potential ability when he's in the open field, especially to break tackles. When it comes to his speed game, it's very good. Is he a barn burner? Is he going to make house calls all the time? Probably not. But his speed is very good, and it is there. 4.43 on the 40 time definitely translates for me on the field. I got no qualms about his speed game whatsoever. Accelerators over the burst, though. We got to touch that. Where some believe he's got the burst, I don't see it as much as the accelerators. 1-2 steps rather than being shot out of a cannon. I think that's what you're going to get majority of the time from a Chase Brown, so I'm marking it down. Accelerators over burst, acceleration does get a check mark in the pros. He does possess the fluid running ability, and he's got good athletic ability. So those are checks for me. You're looking for from your running backs and wide receivers, are they fluid or are they tight-hipped? And he is extremely fluid most of the time, especially in the open field when he's making people miss. You got to love that about Chase Brown, man. Patience and vision is good. Is it very good? Debatable. I'm going to say right now he is still improving in this aspect, but it's good enough for me to say it's a pro. I do like the patience over the vision as we sit today, where he does wait for his blocks to set up, but he is very good and sound in gap awareness. He does understand where his holes are and where he does need to go, man. Good shake and bend, where I'm not saying he's got the first step burst, but he's got great lateral quickness to make people miss, and I think that's an absolute positive for him, where he does understand his limitations, and this is an absolute positive where the lateral quickness does allow him to shake defenders and go down the field that much better. I do like that about his game. Change of direction is very strong. This man is going to be looking for opportunities. You know, the cutback awareness, absolutely fantastic, where there are knocks on maybe him, trying to do too much on the field. That can be a hindrance at times, but I do believe in the cutback awareness that aids in the patience and vision, where he is looking for the hole. Holes clogged up. He understands where to cut back and find that hole to, gallop down the field. He is very good in these respects, man. Supreme body balance. He is slippery in between the tackles, man. Maybe he's not going to bowl everybody over. He's not maybe that, superstar, toughness, pound for pound running back, but he's slippery, man. He's going to get small. He's going to, create a smaller window for opportunity for these tacklers to get him, and he's able to continue to gain yards after contact. Very good in this respect, and his body balance is very nice. Jump cuts are there, man. Just like the shake, juke, and bend, he's got that nice plant step, very sharp plant step, and then the change of direction where he can even do those, quick little hops to do the jump cuts. I do like that about his game. I don't think it's a problem whatsoever, and he's going to showcase that here in the preseason. I want to see it 110%, man. Good stiff arm break tackle. He's just a tough runner, man. Is he a bulldozer? No, but he's just a tough runner, lots of heart. He's going to always compete, and he's going to try to continue down the field to gain these yards. Very good in this respect, man. 2022, he had 10 out of 12 games go over 100-plus yards, man, some 150 plus. Very good stat line. He was the offense here at Illinois. So good. And that 2022 tape is definitely one that you will fall in love with if you do break it down, because, majority of his contests, he did show out and looked very good. As for some cons, like I said, stop-start burst is average for me. You have to take it with a grain of salt. You're going to get one aspect or the other. Either you have burst or acceleration, or you have nothing. At least he's got one of them. So I do believe the accelerators are definitely there. I'm not overly sold on the burst. Stop-start burst in the open field does take a little bit of get up to go, but he still is good enough. But the burst is probably not going to be part of his game, man. Top speed can be capped. Seen him make house calls, seen him outrun defenders, but I've seen him get caught numerous times also. So I will say the 4.43 does translate extremely well, but he can get, caught from behind. So I want to say, are we ever going to see him, obtain getting faster on the field in the NFL? Probably not, because he's going up against grown-ass men that are faster, and he's going to definitely be capped in this respect, man. Average outside running ability, I think he can still get outside. I don't think this is a major con, more of a statement at this point. I do believe he is an inside-outside runner that will, do very well, but I think he's more capable off tackle being the farthest outside you want to take it, man. So he is still capable, but it's more of a statement than a con. I want to see it in the NFL before I can actually mark this down purely as a con. Right now, it's a watch and see statement rather than a full-blown con. Goal line skills, they need improvement. Again, he's not a bulldozer whatsoever. Can he get into the end zone? Yes. Will he be stuffed on the goal line? There is a good chance he can do that. So let's toss this up to being a 50-50 shot of him getting into the end zone on the goal line rather than him getting touchdowns every single time. But Joe Mixon struggles at times too. So it's a very similar skill set between him and Joe Mixon. It really is, where I believe Joe does have the leaps and bounds above a Chase Brown as we sit today, but it is very similar skill sets, where Joe is a better receiver, I will say, but Chase Brown is very like in a lot of the running aspects. No kidding, man. Average receiving ability, but again, statement rather than full-blown con. It is improving. He is not necessarily a liability, but is he one you want to trust on a, pound for pound basis? At this point, I want to say no, but he's still very good enough that he can actually be capable enough to get these balls and then, in the pass game and then go down the field. So it is average, but improving. So I do like this. Had to mark it somewhere, and I'm going to drop it right here, man. He had 6 fumbles in 2022, so that did pose the threat of potential ball security. Maybe it did drop him down the board just a little bit, but the theory I always have on that, when you overwork a running back, they're going to get fatigued, man, and then, technique issues do come into the play here where it comes to ball security as well. 328 attempts, man. That's nothing to sneeze at in one season for a collegiate running back. So overwork is my theory in this respect. I don't foresee it being a massive problem in the NFL, but it is definitely something to keep your eye on, is the ball security. If he can hold on to that football, he's definitely going to find his way into more playing time, man. Average to below average pass pro. Definitely got to school that up to protect your franchise quarterback in Joey B, who is likely going to get a massive contract extension now that Justin Herbert has signed his. So there are some aspects of Chase Brown that he does have to improve his game on, but he's got a lot of skills, man, and the skills that he does possess, I did grade quite highly, but there are some things I want to see rounded out, so he gained, and lost in certain aspects. 71.1% is the grade score for a Chase Brown for grading purposes. And I like his game. I truly do. I think he's a very talented running back that does have a lot of potential and upside. Will he potentially be a split back with someone like a Chris Evans? It would be a formidable duo that you would love to see in Cincinnati. They can absolutely do that together. But Chase Brown right now, while he doesn't rank as high as other running backs, because I do believe there is some things to work out, I'm still, on the trend to believe that he could potentially be a running back 1 in this offense for the Cincinnati Bengals in the future. So there you have it. That is Illinois product Chase Brown, now Cincinnati Bengal. And it's interesting, man, with all the dilemma going on with all these running backs and their contracts and being undervalued, you got to believe with a Joey B, huge contract extension to the likes of $500 million, potentially, we'll see. I mean, they could do a Patrick Mahomes deal. We got to believe that they're going to try to find money elsewhere, and then Joe Mixon is no longer on this roster. So the door could open up in the coming years for a Chase Brown to be the lead dog in this backfield. It's very interesting, and I do believe he's got the characteristics to be a running back 1 in this offense for sure, man. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. What y'all feeling about Chase Brown? Bengals fans, I mean, your season's going to be huge. You guys challenging again for the Super Bowl. Throw it in the comments. How excited are you for this season, man? I'll definitely answer you back, but we'll see you next time. I am out.